This might be the best mic system under $100 that I've ever tested, and I've played around with quite a few. But let's press noise cancellation. See how much better that is. This is the Hollyland Lark A1, and it came out of nowhere for me, but after a few weeks of testing, especially for mobile content, I think it's earned a permanent spot in my gear bag. And here's why. I think it works for beginners and pros. And before we get started, what you probably didn't realize is that this entire intro was recorded with this mic right here on my chest, not my usual studio mic. So let's check it out. So here's what you get in the box. You get two receivers. One is a lightning input, and then the other is a USB-C input, and you get two different mics. This case does also have an internal battery, so it actually charges the mics for you when not in use. You also get two dead cats for wind suppression, a carrying bag, of course the case that comes with everything, and then also a USB-A to USB-C cable. Now one quick note is you will have to remove the windscreens before storing the mics in the case. I do find that a little bit annoying, especially when you're trying to film on the go. And so basically they have these little rubber caps that fit over your microphone, and you just can't close it with them on there. So it's definitely a bummer in that regard, and I'll show you another mic set in just a little bit that I've been using before this one that doesn't have that issue, but I have to say that is going to be one of the only cons of this mic set. Now for setup, there is no setup. You simply take them out of the case and they're paired. That's it. As soon as you plug it into your phone. I had zero issues with this, which is a big deal when you're used to other systems that require manually turning things on or even opening apps. I absolutely hate opening apps. That's a real bummer. Now, one drawback is that there is no screen, so you won't actually see your battery life or if you're actually peaking with your audio, but I haven't run into battery issues yet because they don't draw a lot of power. And really there's no battery issues at all because whenever you have this plugged in, it actually supports pass-through charging through the USB-C port on the actual receiver. So mainly I've been using the Lark A1 with my iPhone 15 Pro Max to film things like flip reviews, TikToks, YouTube shorts, and I do occasional mobile B-roll and some other short form content. It works straight into the phone with the USB-C or lightning plug and does not block your hand or gimbal, which is a really nice feature about this. Something like a DJI Mic 2 system, which I'm going to do a little bit of comparing on in a little bit, has a very large receiver that gets in the way of when you want to put it on a mobile gimbal, and that's definitely not fun to use. And I'll actually go ahead and pull out the DJI Mic 2 system. This is not a comparison video by any means, but I want to showcase you the difference in size of this Lark system because it is incredibly small. Not only can you see a big difference in case size, but overall, the mic itself is less than a third the size of the actual DJI mic. I've been really happy with the DJI Mic 2s and I've had no issues with them, but it makes a big difference when you're filming vertically or wearing it on a t-shirt so it doesn't tug at your collar or flop around. That's one of the things that I like about having a mic so small is that whenever I put it on my shirt, it doesn't like kind of pull it down a little bit. And really, other than it being black on a gray shirt, if you put this on a black shirt, you can't even see this except for the one other issue I have with this mic system, and that's going to be the bright LED light. Now, it's always going to have a blue or a green light shining when it's right here, and it's just a little too obvious for me. I'm not a big fan of that personally, so you could always put a little piece of gaff tape over it if you wanted to cover it, but maybe on the second generation, that's something that they can think of. Now, how they actually connect to your shirt, some people may not like the fact that they don't have a clip. Like for instance, the DJI mics, on the back of them, I'll show you really quick, they have an actual clip or a magnet system. In order to keep these mics super small and compact and easy to keep with you, Hollyland just went with the actual magnet setting. Now, it's a very strong magnet. Like I have not had any issues. Look how far away this goes. Like I've not had any issues with worrying about this thing coming off my shirt. So if you're gesturing or moving around a lot, I have not had any issues with that at all. Now here's the wild part. For the size of these mics, they sound absolutely incredible and they really, really surprised me. Again, comparing them to my DJI Mic 2, which I really, really liked, the Lark A1 is pretty much right there in terms of clarity and vocal presence. But just out of the box with no settings changed, my voice sounds clear, warm, and it's not compressed or thin like you come across with some budget microphones, which is really wild for something this size. When I was at NAB in April, when I first saw the Hollyland booth, I noticed that there were a lot of big name creators there, and I had never actually heard of Hollyland yet. And so I was thinking, man, what is going on with this company? And now I see why. They are definitely an up and coming brand that you should be aware of if you want good quality gear for a decent price. So let's do a quick sound test as I'm walking around so that you can hear how good it is. I'll do just the mic itself, and then I'll also do a comparison with the DJI Mic 2 in case you're considering a budget option and you don't want to fork out $250 for the more expensive DJI DJI mics. Okay, so right here you can actually see that I have it on with the dead cat, this Lark A1, and right here you'll see a little blue light. So if I want to use noise cancellation mode, I will press it and it'll turn green. So let's do some testing really quick. I'm gonna leave it on the non-noise suppressing mode, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to see how loud it is next to these AC units that I have. So I actually have these dual AC units that are super loud right now. I'm trying not to talk louder so you can see how loud it actually is, but let's press noise cancellation. See how much better that is. Now, it's using AI to actually cancel out some of the background noise that's going on. So let me know down in the comments below how much quieter it is, excuse me, with these units in the background. So now let's head over here because I want to show you another cool function about these mics. Now, as I'm walking over here, just know that you can actually buy two versions of this. You can get the combo that I have for around $70 that has two mics with the transmitters or the receivers, and you can get them in black or white. Now, here's another reason why I really like this setup is because with this receiver right here, you plug that into your phone. This is the Lightning version of this. And when you take a gimbal, this is this Hollyland gimbal that I reviewed a couple of weeks back. A lot of times you can't put it on the gimbal simply because the receiver is too big. So here you can do that because the receiver takes up barely any space at all on your gimbal. So if you want to start filming yourself, you know, like this, it's really nice because it won't affect the actual weight of your gimbal. Okay, and to show you the difference in size, here is the Hollyland receiver, and here's something like the DJI Mic 2 system. Now, DJI obviously makes smaller, little more portable mic systems like this, but as you can see, you can't really use that on a system like this. It just doesn't work that well. And I realized this whole time, I kept talking about how good of a budget baller these things actually are. They're only $70. So when I say under $100, it's $30 less than that. So for 70 bucks, you get a really solid mic system. And Hollyland did send these out for me to check out after I met them at NAB, but no money has exchanged hands. They're not seeing this video before it goes live. And I'd be very brutally honest with you if I did not like them and they weren't worth it, but there's a reason that they were really popular at NAB this year. So for final thoughts, here's what I love about them. They're tiny, they don't weigh anything at all. The audio is clean, warm, consistent. Auto pairing works pretty much every single time. It doesn't block your phone ports for gimbal movements, and you can film for hours of content without needing to recharge, which is really nice. What I would change though is kill the blue LED or give us some type of stealth mode, and then let the windscreens fit into the case without taking them off. I know that can kind of adjust the price point just a little bit, but that is definitely a bummer having to carry not only the case for the mics themselves, but then also put them inside of that bag. That's definitely a bummer. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it's not just for beginners. The fact that you can throw two mics into one case with a single receiver makes it great for interviews, side-by-side demos, or social content where you need quick audio from two people. So when it comes to actually recommending this system, absolutely. If you're a mobile filmmaker, content creator, or someone doing interviews on the go, the Lark A1, I really think is kind of a no-brainer for the price. I don't think you're gonna find many options at this range that are going to give you this type of sound quality. And so the two things that I'm not a big fan of are how bright the LED is when it's on your shirt and the lack of a screen, but I mean, you can't really expect a screen at this price point, so it doesn't really bother me too much. It's never going to replace your high-end shotgun mics or studio lavs, but it's not really supposed to. It's for run and gun, mobile-first creators who need good sound in under 5 seconds, and that's exactly what it nails. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in checking out my partnership with Proton VPN, you can get up to 64% off if you sign up to the link in the description below. It doesn't really have anything to do with a mic system, but VPNs are good for everybody, and you should definitely consider one if you want to keep your network and data private and secure. So real quick before you go, YouTube thinks that you might like this video or this video, so if you want to keep exploring the channel, then be sure to check those out. Have a good one.